Hi, I'm BryCox, BryCoxWORKSHOPS.com. Today I want to talk about systems and how they can simplify your business and to give you some things to think about in terms of systems. So before I get into that, a quick plug for my website. Of course, I've got a lot of free videos as well as more in-depth training for members. It's all at my website, BryCox, BryCox, BryCoxWORKSHOPS.com, BryCoxWORKSHOPS.com. And if you're curious about any of that, just get some of the free videos, see what you think. Okay, so in today's video, I want to talk about systems, and this comes really because, I went and took a class for a whole nother industry, which I won't get into, but it's something that I put a lot of time into training and working on, and this particular instructor had a lot of systems for specific things, and it really kind of had some good points that I thought really applied to my business and to speaking and to helping photographers, and what do I do as my own business, what are photographers doing. So here's just kind of some of the ideas and some of the notes that I've made is that systems mean simplicity, right? Instead of trying to ad hoc figure out what you're going to do on the fly, really you've got a system. It's a shortcut. You don't have to try to get from here to here. I'm just going to take you with whatever system or whatever, or whoever you're training with, take you from here to here, and now you're starting. It's just, and you solve all those problems. It's simplicity. Systems mean teachability. If I have a system, years ago when people say, how do you light? The reason why I have a system for lighting, even though my lighting changes from shoot to shoot, is because I had so many people asking me when I'd go speak, well, how do I learn this? How do I do this? And I had to break it down into, here's my steps. 1, 2, 3. That's it. 1, 2, 3. These are my 3 steps. I'm going to do this over and over. Here's my steps for analyzing a woman and her body and making her chin look small and her waist look small and giving her curves if she doesn't have curves, or slimming her. Here's what I do. This is my system, and I've got 3 steps. That kind of a thing. Systems mean that I have something to work on and to focus on when I'm away from training. If it's just a whole bunch of random information, when you get home, that's pretty frustrating because you're like, dang it, what do I do? Now, he did it, but it's not working for me. If I have a system, and that's the thing is I got this system now from this instructor, and I come home and I can practice and I can train and I go, okay, and I can self-diagnose my problem. So here's some of the things that I teach in my courses, that I teach at workshops, that I teach in consultations. And so think about these and the way you work. All right, what's your system for when you pick up your camera to make sure all your settings are correct? What do a lot of people do? They pick it up, put it on P or whatever, or manual or auto, and then they just start shooting. And the trick is, let's pick all the settings, manual, but let's also double check our settings. Let's check, custom white balance, custom flash settings, all that kind of stuff. What's your system for lighting to get the angles, the output, the color, the quality all perfect? What's your system for getting the perfect color balance, perfect exposures, right? I've got a free video on that one right there. What's your system for mixing flash with ambient outside or inside or wherever you are? Like, how do you even figure it out in your mind? I actually have a free video on that one. Now that I think about it, you don't even have to pay me. Just put your email in. That's one of the free ones. What's your system for getting models and clients to relax and to give you the poses that you want, that work, and that are different each time, instead of going like pose A, pose B, pose C. Next client, pose A, pose B, pose C. Next client. How do you keep it changing? How do you get real expressions, right? I've got systems for all that. What's your system for refining a shot that will keep you from shooting tons of images but that just look the same? Instead, how do you go different shot, different shot, different shot, different shot throughout an entire shoot? What's your system? I have a system for that. What's your system for workflow? Your system for culling and prepping images for sales appointment. Do you have to go through and fix a whole bunch of stuff? How long does it take you? I think my system's probably faster. What's your system, like when you train under somebody, how do you compare your system? Things like that. So the idea is when you learn some systems, and then let's say you take my course, or then maybe you go to another course from somebody else, you now have like my blueprint, and then you can compare it to this person, and you may say, I think what Bry said was better because this is a little more concise and it answers what he's trying to do. Or you may say, you know what, he's got this little thing, I'm going to put it in there. It gives you the ability to compare. And So here's one last little thing. When I was at this particular course, there were some really big pros there. And one was my partner for a lot of the things. And I asked him, I was like, do you get anything out of this? Like, as pro as you are, you know, compared to where I'm at, like, do you get, and he's like, oh yeah, I get a lot out of this. And I'm really, what he says, like, those one little things is going to make the biggest difference in my life. Like those little things that I'm going to pull out of this. It may not be, and his point was, you know, maybe I might have more to grow, I might have more to do, but for him, he's looking for refining and getting those little things fixed, and that is far worth it for him. So those little tidbits for him were incredibly valuable. So again, think about your systems for your business and compare them to mine. Check out my courses, check out some of my free videos, all at my website, BryCoxWORKSHOPS, BryCoxWORKSHOPS.com. All right, until next time, America.